smother the second half of summer.
Well, we are here to get you ready for what is ahead in your day. I'm Alex Wallace alongside Jen Carfagno, Dr. Greg Postel from Coast to Coast. America's Morning certainly has you covered.
All right, so if you're not watching soccer or football, you're watching the weather these days because it has been really active. I mean, yesterday there were a smattering of thunderstorms out there that many of them were pretty impactful.
We've seen a lot of that, like on a daily basis, like storms that bring very heavy rain, strong gusty winds, so severe weather. And it's not in the classic way where you think this giant squall line rolling through.
Right.
These things are popping up and they're really intense.
Slow movers,
yeah,
ton of rain, big winds. I mean, it's been a mess.
I mean, summer thunderstorms can sometimes be kind of gentle, right? Nice rain shower, you break from the heat for a moment. Not this year, not this summer. It's been tough out there. And so got a couple things to watch again today. Southeast, a little spinny thing that we're keeping an eye on. Also upper Midwest, a little more.
Spinny things, they usually cause problems, right?
They say if it spins, it wins. Well, I don't know who they are.
What does that even mean? But it does rhyme. And I'm standing in Orlando, just one of the many Florida cities where temperatures could climb to record-breaking territory. This kind of feels like what we get ready for in the summertime, right? This is what we're training for, this kind of heat. But it does become a dangerous heat. We've got temperatures that are going up into the upper 90s. Look at this, day after day, Thursday and Friday of this week here, bookended by 94 on either side of it, Wednesday and Saturday. And we stay in the 90s into Sunday. And really the only thing that cools us off at this point is that you might get a bit more in the way of clouds and the way of thunderstorms, which could break the heat but brings other concerns. So let's look ahead at what we can expect temperature wise. The other spot still really hot is through the southeast, South Georgia, southern parts of South Carolina, along the coast, especially the low country area. Temperatures today are up in the mid to upper 90s and the feels like is above 100. And that sends us into an extreme heat warning again in along the coast and just inland in South Carolina, up through Wilmington in North Carolina, Savannah, another hot day with a heat advisory. And you can see into Florida too. Jacksonville heat advisories, South Florida, West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, over towards Naples, heat advisories. And these are spots that are traditionally hot in the summertime. So when you get up to this level of advisory, you know it's next level heat. Tomorrow's forecast is potentially record breaking. That 97 in Orlando is just 1 degree away from the record, 98. Tampa, 96. That would tie a record. Sarasota coming close, looking at tying a record. Punta Gorda, that would break a record for you in Fort Myers. That would come within 1 degree of record-breaking temperatures. The heat risk is going to be major and extreme throughout most of Florida. You can see that extreme purple color throughout a lot of the northeastern corner of the state, extending tomorrow again through eastern Georgia, South Carolina. This is where the heat is really dangerous for everyone, even if you feel like you're acclimated to it. And as I said, this is what we've been training for. But even if you feel like you are ready for it, this is that next level heat, which can really take a toll on everyone. What that feels like going up to dangerous levels, Alex, for hours on end.
That is tough. Well, it's still silly hot in the west. To get you ready for what's ahead in your day, I'm Alex Wallace alongside Jen Carfagno, Dr. Greg Postel. Of course, from coast to coast, America's Morning headquarters has you covered. And we're certainly covering some of these storms that we're going to be facing yet again throughout parts of the middle of the country. Parts of the southeast, too, could also see storms flaring up as well.
We focus so much on the bad weather. I actually want to focus a moment on this little ribbon of orange that we have out there, which is dry air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. It doesn't mean it's not humid or anything, but it extends into the northeast, and we actually have quite a lovely day in Pennsylvania and parts of Jersey. So I just want to give a shout out.
Well, I love it. And, you know, sunny skies, I saw numbers in the 70s right now.
Yeah.
Very pleasant and lower humidity.
Compared to where we've been, remember the heat, the humidity, the storms. I mean, there were people without power for days in parts of the mid-Atlantic Northeast. So, Jen, there you go. I like that.
We have even more good news.
Good news.
An update from Colorado State University. You know, they do their outlook for the hurricane season. They have lowered their projections again in the outlook.
Not surprising.
No,
not surprising.
Not surprising at all. Yeah, they issue these updates, you know, several per year. This latest one shows, again, they were already calling for it to be a below average season, just continuing to kind of come down a bit.
So the numbers that are new on this plot, are the third column on the right, all the way over there on the right. CSU, that's Colorado State University. That column there represents their most recent numbers for each of these categories: named storms, hurricanes, and major hurricanes. And you can see 9, 4, and 1 in each of those categories. They have been reduced.
Yeah, I believe it was 11, 5, and 2 at the June update. So now here as of July, they've reduced it even more. You can see compared to the average, I mean, the average number of named storms is 14. 9 is significantly below that, but it doesn't mean there's not going to be impacts. So all it takes is one.
Just one. That's all you need.
The atmosphere this summer and fall in particular will open up windows for tropical development threats. We know that's going to happen. So take these numbers with some grain of salt. It's just sort of giving us a trend that maybe it's not going to be the busiest year overall, but again, there will be times when we will have tropical cyclones out there.
Yeah. All right, well, let's focus in on some of the thunderstorms we have right now, and significant with big trees that came down. Now, we had heavy rain then, so we had big storms with wind, then we had heavy rain. Today's our break, our off day, beautiful weather actually, and then we get back into some thunderstorms as we look ahead to tomorrow, perhaps in South Jersey, southeastern Pennsylvania, most of northeastern Virginia into eastern Maryland. We've got the chance for some showers and storms that could go severe, and we'll keep an eye on western New York as well. I'll get to that. Let me start with this area first here, where tomorrow morning there may be a couple of showers, probably not of concern. It's the afternoon ones that will pack a bit more of a punch, with the chance for some strong gusty winds coming out of these thunderstorms. Anytime after about 2 or 3 o'clock, thunderstorms develop, move through the area. The timing could be terrible. 5 o'clock on a Thursday is basically the peak rush hour of the week. So many have worked from home on Friday. They're taking a long weekend. Maybe they've got summer Fridays. Either way, thunderstorms come through about the time you're leaving work, and they may continue into the overnight. And then we'll have to keep an eye on the Friday forecast as well, because now we've got that bigger front that is coming in that will help bring us the chance of some storms starting across the Ohio Valley and into western Pennsylvania. We'll actually see a couple of thunderstorms on Thursday late in the day here into western New York, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse. Watch for that after 1 o'clock. Some of these thunderstorms could be on the feisty side. Some stronger winds would be the main risk. We'll watch for that as we get through the late afternoon and through the evening hours. I think they'll be a little more widely scattered here, but still the risk is there that we could see some stronger ones if they do indeed develop. Not everyone will get them. Now, same thing in D.C. even. Not everyone is going to get a thunderstorm, but there are thunderstorms that will be pretty widely scattered about here on Thursday afternoon, and they could be strong or severe. They also could be some big rainmakers, at least briefly, with some heavy rainfall as they move on through. So watch for that to be a hazard for your Thursday afternoon and evening travel. In the south, Alex, it's these pop-up storms. Hard to predict.
Hard to predict, but boy, when they hit,
it gets really hot, and all the other spots that don't show up on there with advisories, it's not like it's cool. There's only one spot that's cool, and you told us about that.
Which was that?
North Dakota.
Oh, yeah, this morning. That's right. Yeah, on the northern side of the front this morning. It was chilly in the northern plains of southern Kansas in the 40s this morning.
Cool.
That's cold.
Very cool. And that's going to turn around very radically by next week and weekend, even this weekend. It's going to be over 100 degrees in the northern plains.
That's a big turnaround.
Big turnaround.
Big turnaround. All right. Well, of course, we may sound kind of like a broken record here. Same weather.
Well, we need to send someone.
How much higher?
Send someone. I'll go.
You guys
I'll take the risk.
You're all about the heat and humidities. There you go. That's still pretty hot. And nasty.
Yeah. And actually, you've been to the beach, where if you're right by the water, you get that cooling breeze. But if you just go to the back of the sand, you don't get the same
The back
influence.
of the sand is not a good place to be.
Like 100 yards makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Which is exactly the same thing when we talk about, shifting gears here, tropical cyclones, how we rate them as they are offshore, but literally 100 yards inland, the wind comes way down naturally, and we very rarely ever get the same kind of wind that it has over water, just even a little bit inland.
It's true.
So the weather is a lot different on the coast than just inland a little bit. Well, thunderstorms out there have been issued.
It's tough in that heat. Tell you that much. We've kind of squashed the coverage of the amount of people dealing with it, but where it is hot, it's hot.
Especially in the southwest right now, right?
Yeah.
The southwest.
Yeah.
Southwest.
Yeah. Temperatures are at 110.
Oof.
We're not talking feels like. And
although in some cases it feels like it can be actually a little cooler out in the southwest because of the drier air mass. At least
I don't think it's even dry enough to do that.
Yeah, not this time though. Not this time.
Yeah. We have a lot of heat to talk about.
We have a lot of heat to talk about. And, there are also storms in between, right? So you were saying it was relatively cool in the northern plains. This morning it was 50s, even some 40s showing up there, where probably next week it'll be over 100. And then even in the northeast, we're catching a break from the heat. We saw some temperatures this afternoon in the 70s with sunny skies.
Much needed.
So nice.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. Particularly, and they deserve it. It's been a tough last few days when it comes to the heat, plus the storms. I mean, people were without power for multiple days in some of those areas.
Thank goodness, actually, they got a break from the heat because if they didn't have power back yet,
Oh my God.
that was just so uncomfortable. We also have had our fair share of those pop-up